I mean, if I was alone, I would fail. There's no way I would do good. I would fail. I believe that I will make it. I see it, and I imagine it. I dream of it. Like, people have this fear of making money. They have a fear of approaching. They have a fear of, wait, is this actually an opportunity or not? Before you even make millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, you need to have $1 million brain.
So, welcome to the Monk with Braids podcast. I'm your host, the Monk with Braids. And in this podcast, I bring inspirational people with inspirational stories. So, today I have Tarek, who is the CEO of CataKatana. He is a student still. He does crypto. He's an athlete. He's a coach. He's done way too many things. And you guys will figure out as the podcast goes on everything. Because if I just list all the things he's done, it's going to go on for the whole episode.
Thank you.
But welcome to the podcast,
Thank you, man.
Tarek. It's
Thank
so
you.
amazing to have you here.
Amazing to be here. It's the first podcast.
First podcast
I'm
ever,
excited.
huh? So
I'm
the reason
excited.
the reason I wanted to get you on this episode is because most people our age, they want to be successful, have money, and start a business. You're someone who has not only created a business, because anyone realistically can create a business, but you've created a business and made it successful. And every time I speak to you, I get so much wisdom and knowledge that you have learned from experience that I have not gone through. And so every time I speak to you, just drop gems that impact me for days. And sometimes I do think about a lot of the things you say.
For sure.
So that's why I wanted to have you on.
Habibi, man, thank you, man. I mean, I'm here to speak up to my experience. I'm not here to speak over my experience, but I'm here to also speak about what how I prepare for my future experiences.
Yeah.
So it's not only you're learning, and there's also a lot more to learn. But one thing that I feel like was so important in my career, and even at the start of my career, was that I'm ready to face the experience. People don't prepare themselves for it. They just throw themselves in it, which is always better than not. Don't get me wrong. However, when you after like one or two experiences, you realize that you could also prepare for it. So if I have something that I plan to do in the next 2 or 3 years, I could start preparing from now, and that experience just becomes a lot. You can start absorbing a lot more information from it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So that's actually a great introduction, because so to give anyone like an idea of how I know you, you're one of my best friend's sister's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And that's how we met. And every time I spoke to you, I just got a bunch of knowledge. And we've had some conversations where I just get to know about all the amazing things you're doing and also the mindset you have. But you're talking about like, preparing and all of this. And I think you're on this intentional journey where you've planned it out and you've made it happen. But I think for anyone to go on a intentional journey, that's conscious and purposeful, you have to go through an unintentional subconscious journey that
Correct.
prepares you for where you are now. So for example, with me, now I'm doing podcasting, I'm studying mental health, I'm in love essentially with spirituality, and I try to share as much knowledge that I learn with the people around me. But in order for me to be where I am today, I had to go on a journey that was subconscious and unintentional. And now through journaling and meditation and reflection, I see how what I went through, it brought me to where I am today. What I went through, that all the horrible experiences I went through, it taught me things that helped me do what I'm doing today. So before we get to know about the intentional, purposeful journey, and everything that is everything that makes you who you are today, kind of tell me about the beginning of your journey. Like, tell me about your background. What was the unintentional, subconscious journey you went through?
Okay, so I feel like it started off with not having an income. I always, first of all, I just wanted any sort of income. I wanted the taste of money. I wanted to first make it and understand, try to fall in love with it. Did I fall in love with it or not? So at the age of 17, I was also a gym freak. And I didn't have a car, I didn't have a license, and I used to get a specific amount of money from my parents, but that money was all gone on taxis, going and coming back to the gym, and the gym membership. I had absolutely nothing to
That's
spend.
literally me
Absolutely,
before.
that's
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. You have absolutely nothing to do. You
Yeah.
see, like you end up, you come back home and but you actually do still feel satisfied in some sort.
Mm.
And but then I realized, all right, so what's the solution? I have a problem. I must find the solution. And here's the first mindset point. Okay, I want to
Mm.
throw out. Okay,
Let's do it.
let's just throw them out. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So the first point is don't take no for an answer, and don't take no. So I had whatever 2,000 dirhams a month, and they were all completely going on the gym membership and taxis to the gym and all. Do I not go to the gym, or do I just keep going to the gym and accept that I don't have money for the end of the month? None. I find a solution. Okay,
Mm.
that clearly I need to make more. Clearly there is something wrong. There has to be an addition. Okay, there's nothing I can take away. I need to I need to go to the gym.
Mm.
I need to spend the cabs to the gym. How else would I go?
Mm.
And clearly there has to be something added. And then, so this is what I mean by don't take no for an answer. When you have a problem, and don't just see the face. Okay, like take a step back, find out. Okay, can I fix it? Can I do something for it? You know,
Mm.
can I move things around? And yeah, I decided to get a gym certificate, like a personal training certificate, and it was experience in itself to get that certificate. I had to go to like Abu Dhabi, stay there for like a couple days, come back and all, and
Mm.
I got it. Came back to Dubai, started making my first income. It was actually my first client is actually my business partner now.
Wow.
He's the application business partner. We'll get into that
Wow.
later.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna get into
crazy to
that.
think about that now.
No
I just thought
way.
about it right now. But yeah, he's actually my business partner now, and
You
it
can
was
already see how that
yeah,
unintentional journey
yeah.
of not,
We're
knowing
still
how to
there.
make money, it now brought you a
Yeah,
business partner.
yeah,
Wow.
crazy, crazy.
Okay, yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy point.
Wow.
I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just making 600 a month. Just it was, and then it was just that was the start. And then I had two clients only covering my taxis. So now my taxi was solved. My taxi
Yeah.
issue was solved. Okay, this is where like if you think if you just actually set up your money and like set up, okay, this is my plus and this is my minus, this is where my money goes and this is where my money comes, and you just start like moving things around, and you start like, okay, so this is minus 1,000, so I must add a plus 1,000 here, and then you find yourself like, damn, I have a clear system in front of me.
But that
Like
takes awareness, bro.
yeah, but then imagine starting like that, and then you have to go through. Okay, I have also a business coming in here, and then you
Mm.
have to add this also here, and you have to add this also here. You create a whole proper system in front of you, just like a school system that's created
Yeah.
for you. You know. After coaching, COVID came. Best time of my life. Best 2, 3 months, 4 months of my life. I
Wow.
swear to God, I wish I can go back because I feel like I even could have done more.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
that's the most I feel like This was the big switch in my head.
Okay.
And COVID came, and also COVID, I was getting a lot of people going like, oh no, you can't do this, and oh no, you can't do this, and I just wanted to do it. Like if you tell me I can't do something, I'm doing it just because you said I can't do something.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. And started off with oh, you can't coach online. I had like 3 clients online in quarantine,
Yeah.
and I was trying to post like videos of workouts and all, and I was also getting told by actually a lot of people that I knew like, oh no, you shouldn't be posting this, you shouldn't be posting this and all,
Mm.
and oh, you're still not fit enough to be a coach, you're still not fit enough to be a coach
Yeah.
and all. And yeah, I went on a crazy training. I used to train 2 times a day at home with my bottles and all, big bottles and all.
I used to take
Every-
paint cans.
You do. If I open my archive, you'll see like a whole. You just see Arwa bottles. You just see
Yeah.
Arwa bottles on the way up. Like it's I would get water home, and my parents would go like, okay, like put it in the kitchen. I go like, no, that's my dumbbells for the day. Like
Wow.
don't touch the water. This is for my workouts.
Yeah.
And yeah, I started posting videos, and quarantine, like when you get time alone, I feel like honestly time alone made it for me, to be honest with you. Time alone, just
Yeah.
time away from a lot of people, and time away from a lot of distractions. I had no like what was I gonna sit in quarantine and do? Like sit and play on the PC all day and do absolutely
Most
nothing?
people
Most people did
probably
that.
would have done
Most people
that.
did
Yeah.
Most people left quarantine with less money
Yeah.
because they started spending on stupid things online,
Yeah.
unfit, or
Yeah.
at least if they were fit, they got unfitter.
Yeah.
and then less, either same knowledge or less knowledge, because
Yeah.
3 months of absolutely nothing will take away from your knowledge.
Yeah.
If you stop right now, you will have the same knowledge you had a couple of months ago. You won't.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
you
not.
won't. You won't.
If
You
you
won't.
don't
If you
grow,
don't keep
you're like
going,
stopping.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't keep going with the momentum, you're killing the momentum.
Yeah.
You know, you don't step yourself back.
Yeah.
And this is what happened quarantine. A lot of people left
Yeah.
airheads.
Actually, I started content and this whole thing that I'm doing now. It started during COVID because I had
You
so
see?
much free
You
time,
see?
and I'm
You
like,
see?
let me
Alone
just
time.
because I had time to study psychology, which was my uni
Yeah.
thing, and I was like, let me get into this and let me just create content because everyone's at home. No one's gonna go out. People probably are spending time on their phone. Let me create content.
Yeah.
That's why I started as well.
I created that content. I was making money coaching. I was saving money at the same time.
Mm.
I bought my first book in quarantine.
Wow.
Also. Yeah, I
Your
did.
first
My
book?
first book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
I haven't read it though, but I've heard good things about it.
It's amazing.
You need it? Should I
Look,
get
I'll tell
it?
you why. I'll tell you why. Because it's the start.
Okay.
It's the start. It is the start. It is a good start. Like if you're here trying to go forward with books, Rich Dad Poor Dad is a great book because it teaches you the base of assets and liability. It teaches you your relationship with money. Everyone has a relationship with money, and everyone has a different relationship with money. And people tend to have an emotional relationship with money, and that's the biggest
Big
mistake.
time.
When you start having emotions with your money, you start having problems. This is when problems
Also,
start.
belief systems, right? People think
Mm.
that in order to earn a lot of money, you have to do something wrong. You have to cheat people.
This is a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah. I know about that.
Yeah, you read that one?
I haven't read. All these books about being rich, I haven't read it yet.
Think and
So
Grow Rich teaches you about risk
okay.
and teaches you that tells you one thing that's very nice is that so right now you're opening your first business or you're making your first investment. Make the first investment. That's the first most important thing. Make it first. Do it. Stop thinking and stop. Just actually make the
Just get
investment.
it done.
Do it, and okay. Then let's see what happens. So your investment came out green. Your investment came out. You made good money. Good. So now you know something that made you money. You found a way to make money. This is a way to make money.
Mm.
All right. Can you be consistent with it? Now that's something else you have to study on your own. If your investment came out red and you lost money, then good. Also good. Very good. You know how to not lose money now.
Yeah.
You found a way that you could lose money that you can avoid the next time. At the same time, you find your mistake. Khalas, like your next move also could be red though. You know, your next
Yeah.
move also could be red. That's another way you could have lost money. Okay, you keep it's like you keep going, and then you create a system.
Either
So
you win or you learn something that will help you win.
either you make money or you learn how to make money.
Yeah.
You get me? Like either you made it or you know how to make it the next time. You get
But
me?
that's okay. I wanna go back to when you were, when you had the no money. It takes a lot of awareness and also I want to use the word humble, but it because a lot of people want to make the change, but they have an ego that prevents them from knowing that they have to make a change, and then they don't have the motivation to make that change.
Ego is a fuel you choose what to do with. You get me? Ego can be good. Ego can be very good. I have high ego. Everyone around me knows I'm.
Is it confidence,
it's-
pride, or is it ego?
I mean, all three are extremely important
Similar.
structures in a male. Also,
Yeah,
you get me? All three are. Every male in the world has.
a little
ego.
bit of all of that. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay,
Exactly. It's a big structure of a male.
it's how you
But
use
yeah,
it.
ego is it's how you use it. I didn't accept not making money. You know, my first investment came out red.
Mm.
I didn't accept that. My ego didn't allow me to not make money. You get me? That's how you use it the good way. You get me? Or you could you could fuel arrogance with ego, and you could go like, oh, that's not the way. No.
Yeah. Okay, so ego is kind of, it's not a bad thing.
No,
It's something you need. It's depends on how you use
it's
it.
important. It's very
But
important.
But don't be arrogant,
Yes,
which is
exactly.
the fine
Exactly.
line between
Exactly.
it.
You choose what to do with it. It's a type of fuel you choose what to do with.
Yeah.
It's a type.
Even going deeper into that, were you always someone that was so aware and reflective? Because
Yeah.
at 17 to be able
My first job was at 9.
9.
Yeah, and I have but obviously I was working for my father,
Yeah.
but it was a job. It was actually a job probably harder than what I do now.
Wow.
Yeah, I used
Okay.
to paint and I used to. So basically, we were in Syria I was 9 and I wanted to also make money.
At
And
9?
At 9, I swear to God. I used to
What?
always want to make money. Yeah. Anyways,
So
so
it's
I got to
always
my
been
job.
there, bro.
I used to love work.
Okay.
I used to love work. My dad loves working. Okay, I took it from my father. My
Okay,
dad
there you go.
absolutely loves working. I fell in love with work, but I fell more in love with money.
Mm.
So, and it's two different things. We can get to it in a bit. So I used to make 140 Syrian liras
How
a
many
day.
dirhams is that?
A day. That was back in the time, maybe 10 dirhams a day, 7 dirhams
Okay, for
maybe
a
a day.
9-year-old, not
Oh
bad.
no! By the way, I built a capital at 9. I'll tell you
Okay,
I'll
yeah.
tell you where it came. I'll tell you where it came from. And now it's absolutely nothing. And maybe a dollar back then was maybe 25 liras, 50 liras. Now it's like
Mm.
I don't even know. But I took it back in time. I had 140,000 liras.
Wow.
At like 9 and 10. But that was also a little bit from Eid.
Yeah,
A little
yeah,
bit from gifts.
yeah, yeah.
But I did work for like a good 3-4 months. I was making 140 consistent, consistently every day.
Yeah.
And my job was to go with the workers. I used to eat with them, sit on the floor with them. Like I was also kind of taught the how, and that went with me. That carried along with me for a very long time till now. Like if like a lot of people would never sit with workers. Like you're talking about labor workers.
Yeah.
You're talking about painters. You're talking about any type of hard work. This is hard work.
Yeah.
And the thing is we won't survive without these people.
Yeah. You need
and
them.
and they wouldn't sit. They wouldn't. I would love to sit down and have a meal, for example, on the I used to sit down on the floor, split aluminium, okay, get bread, put some tomato paste, whatever they call it in English, and eat. And that was my lunch with them. And my dad taught me that. My dad put me there on purpose. He chose to put me there. He didn't force me. He put me there, and he said, okay, like let's see what comes out. If he likes it, he likes it. If he doesn't like, I'm not forcing him to be there though. But I really liked it. I decided to stay there, and I just kept going. And
Mm.
yeah, and I was very aware when I was young, and I was also aware that my family took a big hit. When we left Syria, I was
Mm.
very aware of that.
Yeah.
Like maybe a lot of people left when they were 9 and 10, and they don't remember much, but I remember so much. Like a lot of specific scenarios. I tell my parents, they go like, "How do you remember that? Like, it's impossible to remember that. You were too young. It
Yeah.
was way too long ago." And I always remember. There's a lot of
Here's the
things.
thing. You learn in psychology that even when you're young, a lot of the memories and a lot of the things, that moment of ages 7, 8, 9, 10, even earlier, like 4 or 5,
Part of structure.
it really structures the foundation, and
Yeah.
you learn more from observing. So you see your dad and you see, oh, he loves working. You're like, oh, I love working. Later on, you realize, okay, I do like working, but also it's the money thing.
Yeah.
So learning, a lot of learning happens when you're young, and a lot of learning happens through observation of parents and what your parents are doing.
Mhm.
So
And also my grandfather.
yeah,
My grandfather was a big part of who I am also. So you're talking about the traits like coming from work and all of these things that structure a successful man. I tried to take as much as I can from my father, but what I took from my grandfather was, and I didn't get to spend a lot of time with my grandfather, but the time that I had got to spend with him, and the things I also watched him a couple times, like on YouTube. He's a writer. He's a famous
wow.
writer. Yeah, he's a writer and storyteller. And he has a couple of things on YouTube, like a couple of videos and interviews, just like this
I
one.
gotta check it out.
We
Yeah,
can
yeah.
watch it. We can watch. I learned patience and not showing emotions.
Mm.
These are things that I realized he had when in a lot of his interviews was, um, even if the person in front of him made him laugh or the person in front of him made him angry, he won't show emotions.
Mm.
And this was why he was also he stood his ground in an interview. This is why he had this powerful energy.
Presence.
Yeah, he had a
Yeah.
very powerful presence, and on top of that, patience. Like I said, patience is something very important. You learn to be patient with everything,
Yeah.
not just the business or anything. There's a lot of things you learn to be patient with. Feelings, you learn to be patient with your feelings. Also, you learn to keep them, for a long time until you feel like, okay, now's the right time. You once you learn patience, you start learning how to choose the right time for a lot of everything. You get me?
Mm.
This is the big part of patience, and yeah, that was my grandfather is a big part of who I am. My grandfather and my father.
tell me about that a little bit. Okay, so I understand that in order for you to have this mindset, you had, because I wanted to understand, like, I've heard you say all these things. I'm like, where does he get that from? Like, where does this, person, where does that originate?
It all came from somewhere.
Parents,
I can tell you that. I can tell you that.
grandfather.
It came from, yeah, it came. Look, we have it in our family. We are an extremely ambitious family. None of us. There's not one person in my family that is not the best at something between or the surrounding he's in. You get me? Um, like I could tell you that my sister is a cyclist, and Dina, my sister Dina, the older sister, she's a cyclist, Abu Dhabi team.
Wow.
She's proven to be the next gem. And my sister, Sina, I don't know you don't know her. I don't think you know her. My sister Sina, she is she's the most creative designer I've seen. And she has two jobs. She
Wow.
works at real estate and marketing.
Mm.
These are two fields that are extremely important because one teaches
I'm gonna have to get your whole family on.
Let's have a family podcast.
Let's have a family reunion podcast.
So yeah, like these are two really important things. I'm very happy she's doing real estate because sales and negotiation is something very important.
Yeah.
These are like weapons you're gonna carry for in the future with business, and marketing. We all know the importance of marketing.
What I want to say is that, and later on in the podcast, you guys who are watching are gonna find out that even though you may not have like a family that's like this, there's a lot of that doesn't mean you're not going to be successful, and that there's a lot you can do. Like you've been blessed with your father and your grandfather and your family, but there's a lot of things you've had to do on top of that in order for you to get to where you are today. And we're going to be teaching people that as well.
Don't forget that seeing my sister push herself in cycling pushed me in the gym, that then pushed me in somewhere else, then pushed me somewhere else, and I go back to something else. A a group. I don't believe in making it alone. I don't believe in making it alone. All right. I would say I'm extremely lucky to have a partner like my partner Saeed. There's no it's very hard to trust someone the way I trust him. Especially when it's not like in the actual inside their family. It's hard to trust people like family, and Saeed I can blindly trust him anytime, any day. And the best part about me and Saeed's partnership is that we are not alike. We are complete opposites. Complete opposites. One could be risky at time, one could be not.
And you need that.
You get two perspectives at once.
He fulfills you in places where you're not fulfilled, and you fulfill him in places.
You could say that, for example, let's say we went and we at negotiations. When it comes to negotiations, all right, I have the stronger. I'm the more business minded, and negotiation is a very strong skill of mine. And but when it comes to, for example, creativity and sometimes strategies and organizing, Saeed's a perfectionist. I'm not like that at all.
Yeah.
I'm not like that at all. Saeed's a way harder worker than me. Way harder worker than me. I can't even. I will admit it any day. And but also Saeed works extremely hard. I try to work smart. I like to work more smart than I do hard. I'll be honest with you, because
that's important.
I mean, if I was alone, I would fail. There's no way I would do good. I would fail.
It takes a lot for you to. It just shows how you've done all of these things, and it's so cool that you can be like, without this person, I would not be around.
I'm here to actually share my experience. I'm only 22. I'm nowhere near where I want to be.
Yeah.
And
same.
like me being in this podcast just makes me want to come again in next year and prove that I got better. In this year.
Well, we might have to do that another episode.
100%.
Now that your grandfather's done interviews, you're doing it, following in his footsteps.
100%. Look, it's success is bound to happen to who really believes it. I believe that I will make it. I see it, and I imagine it, I dream of it, and I don't want to be normal. I'm not normal. I believe I am not normal, and as time goes, I'm trying to be even more not normal. I'm really trying to stay away from what everybody does. I want to do everything differently. I want to be aggressive when everyone is pulling back, and I want to also be smart when everyone is being aggressive, and this is positioning. It's a very important thing. You put yourself in the right place at the right time.
Having your family, having people around you that are being successful in what they're doing, and it's so important, the people you have around you. And I've noticed that times when I'm not doing well in my life, a lot of the times the people around me, I remember the time when I was not doing well in life, they were not good people, they were not doing the right thing. Now, fortunately, in order for me to get to where I am and where I want to be, I have actually had to change my friendship group, which is why I've actually wanted to spend more time with you and why I love talking to you, because
Thank you, man.
that's what I get from you. It's
Thank you.
a representation and symbol of who I want to be and kind of what attributes I want.
It means
And so,
it really means a lot for you saying things like this, because
100%, bro.
it's what you know. It's like when you see yourself, like you're around, like people are around you are always like, okay, back and forth. And like I told you, by the way, why I also love having conversations with you is because sometimes I say things that I forgot myself, that come out of my subconscious, and when
Mm.
I'm speaking to you, I'm reminding myself, and it feels like the first time I'm telling myself, you know, like I could come here and talk to you about business and whatever, and I could something out of my subconscious might come out that
Just
I
come out
completely
that you
forgot
didn't know.
about, you know, something I read in a book maybe 2 years ago I completely forgot about,
Yeah.
pops up, and I'm like, oh wait, I totally forgot about that point,
Yeah.
you know. And this is this is the power of healthy conversations,
Yeah.
you know?
So that's one lesson I do want people to notice from our conversation already. It's that to surround yourself with people that you admire, or I would say in some ways you are a role model to me. I will say that.
Come
Because
on.
usually it's like older people, right? But for real,
Thank you, man.
for my age and a guy, what it means to be a man and to be successful in different ways, I would say you are a role model to me.
Thank
So
you, man. But one thing I would say is that I'm still nowhere near to be a man,
yeah,
you know.
we're on the way.
I can tell you that I know what it takes to be a man, you know. I haven't tried it yet, because you're really not a man until you have your own household, until you hold your first child, until you
We need
you
to
know
get into that. What
there's
it means to be a
yeah,
man.
of
I want to
course.
get into that as well.
Yeah, I mean, this you open that question, it's a 30-minute question, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's a 30-minute
Nah,
question.
we'll get into that for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Second thing, love and appreciate the people around you. Be humble. Third thing, just be aware. Just be aware. Like, I think even with finances, you were like, this is how much I'm spending. This is how much. So this is something I've started to do recently, where it's like, focus on how much you're doing. Like, don't actually just say things, but be meticulous in how you plan.
Understand what's coming in and out. You know, the other day I was explaining systems to somebody, and I was like, the power of systems. This is something that I'm trying to level up in now. All right. I feel like, you know, this is a lot of the people that I met, and the people that are in the positions that I want to be in. A lot of them can't stress enough about systems. They love systems. They're addicted to systems.
What do you mean by systems?
Now, here's what I say. Literally a system. It's literally a system. So in grade, let's say you're in grade 8 right now. What has a school created for you to be able to go to grade 9? A system. It is a system. They tell you to take chemistry, math, this, science, that, whatever, and it's a system that you follow. They tell you that you're gonna go through this chapter to this chapter between this time, and then whatever, you will pass. You know, and it doesn't matter you pass at a 60 or 100. You know, that's a whole totally different conversation. But you pass. You know, you go on. You go on to the next stage where there's a new system now, grade 9. All right, and then you pass, and then you go to grade 10. And rarely you actually see people that repeat grade 9 and repeat grade 10 and repeat
No.
grade 11. You
Very
very
rare.
rarely see it. Why? Because it's a system. Because it's the most studied system. The system of education is the most studied system there is, and it's proven to succeed. You know, you do see engineers at the end of the day. You do see doctors, and you do see scientists, and you do see astronauts, and you do see all of that. But where did all of that come from? You know, systems. Okay, now we know that, okay, creating a system, and if you create a proper one, it will succeed. It's not a coincidence that the education system has been going on for 100 years, the exact same one.
Yeah.
You know? I sound like a fan to the education system. I'm not. I'm just saying. Anyways, so
You're a fan of systems.
I'm
in
a fan of
general.
systems.
Yeah.
Okay. And this, honestly, this is the only thing I like about now, the education and all. But obviously, education and engineering has taught me a lot about. Has actually taught me to think about things in various different ways outside of engineering. We'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah.
So now let's say you create a system to your first $1 million. Okay, a proper system to the first $1 million. So they told you in grade 8 you will finish grade 8 in 9 months. Okay, and they created a system for you to be able to finish grade 8 in 9 months. How you want to make $1 million? When do you want to make $1 million?
In a year.
In a year. So that's 12 months. You set a system. You can create a proper system that says go to $1 million in 12 months, all right, and then you move on. Okay, so this is what I have. Okay, how much do I need? Just like school asked, what do they need? What do they need to be able to do this level of math, or what do they need to be able to do this level of science? In grade 8 to move on to grade 9, and the same thing happens here. So what do I need now to make $1 million? All right, find out. You create that system, and then you see what your ins and outs are. Okay, and what's coming in and what's coming out, and you will have a clear answer. Like, oh wait, I'm way too far right. Like what I have in and out right now, I did not realize. And maybe I'm red. Maybe I'm more out than in. Maybe I have more liabilities than assets.
Yeah.
All right, but okay. So what can I do? You change a bit here. You change a bit in the outs. You change a bit in the reds, and you see yourself. Okay, now I'm green. Okay, now I know every month I'm making this much. Okay, now the next thing is, now I need to make the same that I did when I created the system. So let's say $1 million into 365 days, whatever it is, 3,300. I don't know what number it is. Whatever the number is, I need to make that much now to make $1 million in a year. Okay, how can I make that much now? If you ask yourself that question, you will find your reasons. Remember when I told you about don't take no for an answer?
Yeah.
If someone told you have to make $3,000 a day for the next year to become a millionaire,
Don't say I can't.
don't
Be
say
like,
I can't.
How?
Don't say okay. How do I make $3,000?
Okay, what do I need to do that?
I could sell one thing that's $3,000 and I can make net profit on that. Okay, or I can sell 10 things that are $300 that I can make net profit on that. Or I can make one trade on crypto that can make me $3,000.
Wow.
Or I could, there are so many ways. I could sell a car that I could try to find a car on Dubai that someone's trying to sell it urgently. I sold a car. I've sold a car in a toilet in the gym. I'll tell you that story. Okay, I sold a car with I job shipped a car, literally. I don't know how to explain it.
Wow.
I'm in the toilet in the gym, and this is awareness. This is what awareness is. I'm in the toilet at the gym. A guy walks in. He's speaking to his friend. He's like, "Oh, I want to find the car. Whatever. I have 17,000 budget, and my dad's only giving me. He needs it in GCC specs and less than this much kilometers and all." I told him, "Okay, bro. If I find you a car, I'm keeping. I find you a car for whatever price it is. You're paying 17,000. So if I find 12, I'm taking 5. If I find 18,000, my bad. 18,000 is the exact amount because I remember getting the car for 12. So I found the car for 12. I keep 6. If I find the car for 13, I keep 5. You get the point.
Yeah.
And same night, Chevrolet Spark. The next morning, I make 6,000 dirhams.
Wow.
And this was when right after quarantine, when masks were still a thing in the gym. So I was, still now I'm moving. Now I was moving. Into making money and all. I just made 10 months of coaching. What I used to make 600 dirhams a month on coaching per client. I just made 10 clients in one deal without owning the thing.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's what I mean. It's just thinking. You just have to think.
That's crazy. And
How?
after you experience something like that,
What?
you start finding more of them. You get me?
Once you find out, like, oh, this is something, this is how I do it, then you're like, okay, how can I do it again? How can I do it in this way? And I'm just learning how to do that.
It's a thing.
So,
It's a thing.
wow.
You can do things like this. Like people have this fear of making money. They have a fear of approaching. They have a fear of, wait, is this actually an opportunity or not?
Or do you think? Okay, wait, hold on, because I wanna get into, because you're talking about systems for CataKatana. Tell me about that. Did you have a system for that?
In the beginning, no. I can't lie to you.
Okay,
No,
tell
in
me
the beginning I
about
didn't.
the start of that business and how did
So
I literally just forgot we were filming a podcast for a second. I swear to
Yeah,
God,
yeah,
I saw. I was like, oh wow, cameras.
this. I
Completely
love this. I love
forgot.
how this conversation.
Yeah.
is going. So CataKatana, Said, my brother's idea, and he's into like the anime and the gaming and all that scene, and he found a gap. I think it was actually maybe 2 years before we started the business. His friend asked him, "Why isn't there katanas that are steel anime themed?"
What are katanas for the people that don't know?
Japanese swords. It's the easiest way for you to understand it.
Okay.
It's a lot more complicated. Said knows more about a katana, but I recently found out a katana is a full-on study, bro. It's a full-on study.
Really?
Yeah. It's so much.
Wow.
It's,
Okay.
Once you get into it, you realize that up to the millimeter.
No way. Okay.
Katanas are, and the steel that the actual katanas are made in Tamahagane, I think it's called. It's like some magical kind of steel.
Wow.
It's only in Japan.
Okay. We need to have him on for an episode as well.
Yeah, Said,
But
yeah.
let's talk about the business.
100%. I would love to be here again with Said because this is the fun part. Like me and Said can speak about. Can I swear?
Yeah.
the fuck ups we had, like in the past year.
Yeah.
And
Damn, let's have him on for an episode, bro.
'Cause we
You,
have
me,
funny
and
things.
him.
We had like me and
That would be
Said's
such a great
experiences. Me and Said's experiences are just funny. Like they are like we put ourselves in positions where they're the hardest positions you can be in, and I swear to God, we would be in the best. 6 months later, we'd be in the best position, and we go like, bro, I missed that day where we were fucked in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
and we had only 2 dirhams, and we had to carry the swords from here to all the way to there. Like, there are times where,
Wow.
like, don't forget that this company was around 9 months, was absolutely only me and Saeed, no employees, 0 employees, and you're talking about marketing, you're talking about inventory, you're talking about DMs, like replying to DMs. We used to get 60, 70 DMs a day.
Wow.
Like that's
A
replying,
lot,
and
it's a
you're talking
lot.
about 35 of them are
Bro, I get 10 or
conversations.
12 and I don't reply for like weeks.
35 of them are conversations,
Yeah.
They're conversations with people, and later on, once you create a system, you realize, okay, so my hour, if I make this much in an hour, okay, it would cost me less to bring someone to reply to DMs than for me to spend that hour and
Yeah,
replying
because
to
you're
these
paying
DMs.
for someone's time, right?
Exactly. So my time, if you think about it, everyone's time has a cost.
Yeah.
Everyone's time has a cost. Whether
Yeah.
someone that makes 1,000 dirhams or 100,000 dirhams a month, everyone's hour has a cost, has
Yeah.
a number. All right. Once your number exceeds, so let's say, to get a person to reply to your DMs, okay, would cost you 50 dirhams an hour. The moment your hourly rate becomes 51 dirhams an hour, it makes sense for you to sign that person up. You get me? Because he's doing your job plus your 1 dirham above.
And you get time to do something else. And then when that happens, you build that time and your time's more expensive. You're like, okay, give me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is a system. And this is now a system. This is now how you create it. This is what I mean by hourly rate and actually how much you make and all of this stuff.
So the idea comes from Saeed for the
idea. The idea comes from Saeed. He makes it. Me and Saeed are like. We met at the gym. We competed the first time in powerlifting together. We went. It was me, Saeed, and Shadi, another brother of ours. We went to Ras Al Khaimah, and we competed over there. And after that, Saeed went to the army, and he came back. Came back a different human, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what he became over there, but he came back with the toughest mindset I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
I've never seen someone with a tough mindset like him, And he started this 2 years after his friend told him, it's a good idea to make, why isn't there steel katanas? He went for it. He did it. He made the first investment, the first risk, came out green. And he knows that this is a way of making money now. And not much after that, me and Saeed were talking about starting doing things together. He's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, like we have CataKatana. We work together. Why am I alone?
So it started off as an alone thing he did, and then you got into it.
He was alone.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
he
What
was
was it like at that time when you first joined? Like,
honestly, when I first joined, it was I kind of also let him. When I first joined, I didn't take myself as a partner first because I needed to learn. I need to learn what I'm selling. I have to understand my audience.
Of course.
Who are my audience? And I had to learn about anime. I had to memorize the sword names, the katana names.
wow.
There's a lot of where they came from, who's it for, and when someone comes and asks you like, oh, I want Tanjiro or whatever, you should know who Tanjiro is.
Yeah.
Like in 2 seconds you should know who Tanjiro is.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're really pushing the sale away.
Yeah.
And
you need to know your customer in order to know what they
Exactly.
want and how to deliver it to them, right?
And then over time, I started finding where my skills can come handy in this business, and strategies started coming into place, and created a proper plan. We've always had a plan of going into Comic-Con as a very, 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 very big booth. And in February, we're sponsoring a village in Comic-Con.
That's insane. I need to come for that.
Yeah. It's gonna be a sick booth. We were trying also now to bring the Japanese culture here. Like this is a culture that's missing here, I feel. And
it's growing though.
It's growing big
so
time, yeah,
if you do it now, it's like a
exactly. You catch the train.
yeah.
Exactly. So we introduced now customized katanas, so you can actually make your own katana now.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, let's say for example, you want to make your own katana.
I need one, bro.
You could actually make your own katana.
I want one
with your name written on it. Have it over there. I've said this before. Like, I don't know what's up with real estate agencies. and katanas. I don't know why.
Real estate agents
I
want
don't know why.
katanas?
I don't know why they like katanas in their meeting room. Agencies.
Wow.
Agencies like having katanas in their meeting rooms.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
why.
I didn't know
That's
that.
a thing
Man.
they have.
Okay.
For them to have, if this is a big meeting table for them when their clients come in, they like to have a katana in the middle.
It kind of makes sense.
It makes sense because
It's cool.
I mean, you walk in, you could see a watch, you could see a clock on the wall, or you could walk in and you could see something very expensive on the wall, but you've never walked into an office and you saw a katana on the table.
Yeah.
You have never seen that. Okay, so and this is why I understand why. Okay, now these agencies are getting it. You know, now we have our next project. We've built a wonderful team behind it. The next project is called Duber. It's an application, and this application allows you to make pocket money on the side. The main target is so we've opened up these opportunities to everybody. So it's an app. So it can start from TV mounting. It can start from helping moving. It could start, or it could be dropping off something.
Mm.
You know, the application is almost launched. It's the two. The application first started off with targeting labor workers because they are underpaid.
Yeah.
Okay, we can all agree on that. They are underpaid, all right. And a labor worker makes 2,000 to 2,500. I've seen 1,500 a month also.
Yeah.
They're how are they surviving?
Yeah.
And imagine you can give them another 150 dirhams a day. That's 10% a day they make.
Yeah.
10% of their monthly income they can make in a day with this application.
Wow.
You get me?
So you're giving them an opportunity to basically do a task that someone else wants to do for
Exactly.
probably a cheaper price.
Exactly.
But to them, it's like, wow, this is
And
like
I'm not taking
10% of my
I'm
salary
not-
for one day.
and I'm not taking any percentage from them as well. Like it's not like the application takes percentage from the agents. So this is solely going
Wow.
for them. And this
What an idea, man.
man, you see, it started off
That's
because
amazing.
you know how it started off. From CataKatana, we had a very big shipment coming in, and me and Saeed, the first 3 shipments.
What's a big shipment like?
You're talking about how can I not leak so many? So I don't want to leak something very important, but I would say 2 containers. Like let's say
Wow.
let's say 2 containers, or let's say 1 container, but sent as in 2 halves. Let's say
Wow. Okay.
something like that, and it's katanas at the end of the day. It's not very. It's long, but it's not very.
So one container just full of katanas.
full of weapons, but they're coming.
Wow.
So yeah, so we were sitting. So I was standing there, and the shipment came, and we used to carry the things like every single. Me and Said used to carry everything. Like you're talking about 6 hours, 8 hours of going up and down 3 floors. Up to the basement, or up to the room upstairs storage, or downstairs. We have the warehouse downstairs inside the house, and then I was like, then reached a point where we can now get someone to do this for us, and I was calling up, there's this guy Amran, he's a G. I call him up, these helixes that have their number at the back outside, and I called him. I'm like, Amran, like come, sure. Keep calling. I'm like, I wish there was an application for this, and like I could just do it easily. And then I was like, like I make it.
That's a business idea.
I make it. Why I wish I make it. And also props to my partners in this, to Ghazi and Bora and Saeed. These are my partners, and props to them for honestly jumping in on the idea directly. They put full trust in this idea. They really invested in this idea. And we believe this idea can be taken on forward, especially you're talking about university students here. They can start making 150, 200 dirhams a day, 200 dirhams a day. It starts opening up.
So it started off as labor workers, and now it's
so it started off. This is the main idea. I want to help these people, and then I was like, this can open chances for everybody.
Yeah.
Students.
For kids, like when you were 17 and you needed to make money, you're now providing those type of
you
kids that are like...
You can build capital now with this. You can build capital now with this. Like 300 dirhams, 200 dirhams a day is good money for someone.
It's really good, bro.
It's good
especially
money.
If you're young, if you're,
exactly.
It's like a lot of money.
And you know what's the best part in this application? How hard, like how much better you perform, how much better you give your service, and how, because there's a 5-star rating in this application. Okay, you can rate your ad, and there's a profile for every agent. Okay, there's a profile for every single agent. So each agent will have a rating and reviews under him. So you're working hard on this application. You know, you want to give the best experience you want to give for your customers.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the application. I believe is going to be a great solution. I believe it's going to be a great opportunity for a lot of people. We believe that this application can be grown into something very, very, very big.
I think so,
And,
bro. You're providing
yeah.
people with opportunity. You're trying to do
Solution.
something good for people, and those type of businesses at the end of the day, it's always so fulfilling, and I'm sure it's
Yeah.
gonna do amazing.
Inshallah.
I wanted to talk about, because we talked about this before with systems, and I think the difference between someone that can take an idea. Okay, I wanna take this concept of what an idea is, like the tangible aspect of an idea.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's just a couple images and words in your head. That's an idea.
Yeah.
And the process of taking something in your head into putting it into a physical thing that people use and it becomes a part of their lives. And let's say katana, it's like, okay, I know what a katana looks like. I'm thinking of the word, and then you take something from your brain and you make it into this physical thing. First of all, that process, I find it like it's so. I want to use the word magnificent, but I've never used that word before. Sounds like a crazy word to use.
Okay,
I sound-
magnificent works.
I've never used that, but it sounds like this magnificent thing where it's like, wow, it sounds like magic, I swear. You take this thing that's in your head and you make it like a physical, tangible, real thing. But the difference between someone who just has ideas and they never come into fruition and someone that has an idea and it becomes a real thing is planning, I think. I think knowing how to make it happen.
Okay. So
And systems, now that you've mentioned it.
so let's make this a bit more interesting.
Okay.
Let me go against you.
Okay, go on.
Okay, I'm gonna go against you. All right. I'm gonna go against planning, too much planning.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm gonna go against idea and making magic and putting it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you called it magic. Magic is something when
Not
we
real.
see, we're astonished every single time. You know, you've never seen magic and you went like, oh yeah, just another day. You
Yeah.
know, when you see a proper magic trick, you go like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And it's a big thing for you.
Yeah.
And you just so now that means every single idea that you will have in your head will turn into a very big thing for you. And it will have so much weight on you that it will allow you, it will start making you think more, and it will start making you plan. But once you start making plans, since it's a very big thing and it's magic and all, and it's worth so much in your head, it's worth so much, you start losing focus on actually just doing the thing. You know, you start overthinking it. Just do it. It's not magic. It's not. It's so much simpler than it is. People think it is. You know, to bring something into life is so much simpler than it is. It's literally just do it. You
Yeah.
know? And I say literally just do it because doing it is actually going like, okay, so now I need to get this supplier and I need to do this and I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. This is doing it. You know, doing it is not just, okay, I did it when I put it in front of me. No, I did it when I actually researched for the supply. I did it when I prepared for a launch. I did it when I prepared my Instagram account. I did it when I, you know, like this is all doing it. You know, it's
Yeah.
not just it's there, so I did it now.
Yeah.
No, and then planning. People tend to plan so much. I said yes the moment Saeed told me to enter this. I didn't think anything. It doesn't. People plan too much. Plan too much to make their first move. To make their next. If you're sitting there and you're taking a penalty shot, okay, you sit there and you start overthinking right, left, middle, up, down, whatever word I go. I'm sure.
It's gonna be complicated.
So
So
much.
don't
more
plan too
complicated.
much.
Don't
How do
plan
you
too
know-
much.
Okay, how do you know? First of all, this is really interesting because I heard a quote recently where everyone tries to find a very complicated solution for a very complicated problem, but often it's a very simple solution for the most complicated problems.
Yeah.
And so I do understand, and this is great because I love being proved wrong. Or I wouldn't say that, but I love when
know-
someone says something where it conflicts with what I say.
I can tell you for sure there's a lot of people that can go against what I'm saying, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm here to speak out of experience. And out of experience, you need to be efficient and quick. World's moving too fast. The race is going. No one's waiting, and you know you want to move quick. You know, like I sat there that same night. I swear it was like maybe 2:30 a.m., 3 a.m. phone call between me and Said. He's like, "Yeah, man, just jump in." I said, "Okay." The next morning, I'm partner. You know,
So how do you
Would
do
have
it, bro? How do you
would have taken me maybe 3-4 weeks to sit and plan and tell Saeed, okay,
decide,
man,
do I
tell
want to
me,
do
show
it?
me how
How?
much money you're making, and show me how much this you're making, and like show me if it's worth it, all that stuff. Because it would have taken me like 3-4 weeks, and I would have probably I lost the idea, and and like you also there is also a fire in you that if you don't put into use now, it will turn off. Fire does not stay alive all the time.
Mm.
It turns off alone. And it's the same thing. Like, use that fire directly. Why are you waiting? Why are you why that fire that you have? Why are you putting into thinking if you're gonna do the thing or not?
Yeah.
Just do it and you put that fire into use. And this is what I did with Saeed.
So tell me about that. Now that we're looking back, bro.
Mm.
So tell me, now you've created one business and it's done so well, and you're like, okay, I did it here, let me do it here, and you're creating this new thing now.
Mm.
What's the system? How did you, or you didn't have a system in the beginning for
No.
CataKatana,
No, I
but
did not.
you're saying don't plan too much. If you have motion, if you have that fire, go for it. How do you know? Like, how do you know when not to plan too much? How do you know how to plan? Because people need a little bit of planning, right? Like, people talk about manifesting as this idea that's in their head, but it's like, okay, but you actually have to do things. And I just had a conversation with Yasmin, my podcast manager, about this. But you need to have a plan, and it doesn't have to be too much, but you have to have somewhat of an idea, right?
Mm.
So I have never created a business before. How do you do it?
Just creating a business?
Yeah. How do you do it? How do you create a system? What do you think works? What doesn't work?
I mean,
There's an art to it, I'm sure.
I'm trying to remember this quote I heard about art the other day. And it would fall into place perfectly right
Yeah.
now. It's something about something that goes like, you can study art, or you can be artistic with your studies, something like that, something in the form of that. And because you just linked to opening a business to an art, and yeah, you can think of it as art, you can, but you can also be artistic in the way you think about it. You get me? It's two totally different things.
What? Let's
Yeah.
get. I love that. I wanna expand on that. I don't want to move past it.
Okay. So studying art. Let's start with the first part of the sentence. Is that studying art, and art. What art actually teaches you is thinking about, obviously, creativity opens your mind to different perspectives. Like, I could look at this from here. I could look at it from here. I could look at it from here. And this is what art teaches you, like looking at things from different ways. Okay, and you can study how to do that. You can study how to do that. You can study how to think using creativity and different perspectives and applying it into business. And this is where the art comes in, and maybe you could say positioning yourself and all that I told you about, and putting yourself in the right place at the right time. This can also be a form of art, because speaking is a form of art, and I had to speak to get there.
100%.
I had to speak to get there. I had to have the right tone. I had to have the right presence at that time, and this is a form of art. Or you can be artistic with how you do it, and so to be artistic with how you do it, obviously you have to understand art. You have to learn art. And being artistic with how you do it is basically applying what you have learned into the business in ways that you actually would have never thought of before. Like, I would have never thought that I was going to be a CEO, and then at the same time I'm gonna go to a crypto event and be suddenly a crypto dealer, and then leave that event and then be a Uber, and this is me being artistic with it. This is like, see, I said something that's worth so much, by the way. What I said, the sentence I said now was very big, and it's very hard to explain it.
Yeah.
Very, very briefly, because this is one of the things where I feel like people so I can tell you this, it could mean something to you and it means something else to someone else,
Yeah.
you know.
Which is great.
And the way
That's
I said
fun.
it, I don't know, this is the first time I say something like this, by the way. I'm still shocked with what I said, you know. And like I have never said this before. I've never thought of this before. It just came out right now.
I guess
so
that's my job, right?
I mean, thank you. You see, this
That's
is what
why
I
I'm
mean.
here.
This is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
When I said a couple minutes ago, when I sit with you, there are things in my subconscious mind that come
Yeah.
out that I remind myself of, and this is one of the things.
I love that.
You
And
know?
then I learn from that.
This is
So
right.
it's like
right
yeah,
here,
yeah.
right now. We just proved our point.
What you
know?
said. And I'm learning from you, like, what
This
this
is
is. Yeah.
conversations, networking, you know, like all of these things, and just combining perspectives together
Yeah.
took out the sentence.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you know, I hope you understood what I mean by autistic and
Yeah.
all. But I mean, it's a quote I'm gonna keep on top of my bed.
Yeah. There's
You know?
there's a difference to some extent. It's like there's a difference between just learning something and learning how to apply it in what you're doing.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's a very different
Yeah.
process because people can study something all they want. You can study how to make a business, but until you do it and learn
Yeah.
how to make the risk and you learn how the art of it, it's
Emotions is such a big thing. Emotions is so big when you're in business. You have to
Tell me about
really
that.
know how to control your emotions in business, and controlling your emotions first comes with controlling your mind. There's nothing in the world you can control. There's nothing in the world that you have full control of. You could say I have full control of my company. I'm the CEO. I'm the founder. You never know when an earthquake might hit and you know your company's out, your facility is down. You know, you never know when your competition might come out. You know, and completely destroy what you do. Health. You could run every day. You could eat healthy every day. You could stay away from anything that's even 1% unhealthy compared, and you'll find yourself. You never know. You might, you know, have a heart attack in a week. You never know. You never know when how health acts with you. But one thing you can control is your brain, and so you can manipulate yourself. And this is how I feel controlling your brain comes. And controlling your brain is, for example, not taking no for an answer. This is controlling your brain, because our brain is, there's nothing that reacts faster than our brain. You know, directly we get a reaction to instantly to anything we're told. And this is one of the cases where it's like, oh, don't take no for an answer, because directly your first reaction is gonna be after you take a no for an answer is okay, I'm moving or whatever. Or you can control your brain to react, you know, to manipulate yourself to go like no, wait, there's another way around, you know, there's another way around here. And this is manipulating your brain. And after you learn how to do that, you then start controlling your brain. And once you start having complete control of your brain, then it transfers to emotions. All right. So once you get put in a hard situation, obviously it's all sunshine and rainbows in front of everyone, but me and Said are at the back of the business. We've been through things that no one knows, you know.
Yeah.
Like we've been through things that I can't tell anyone, you know, because I don't want anyone to know what. These are things that are so hard to say. These are hard experiences, just like any hard experience there was outside. There are hard experiences that me and Said went through, and this is what I mean. And so once you start manipulating and actually controlling your brain in these hard situations, you start knowing exactly how to think and go around. And then you get put in a hard situation, and the first thing you think about is not your emotions and oh, I fucked up, and oh, this was the wrong thing, I shouldn't have done that, I should have done that. You're just wasting your time thinking with your emotions, you know. And after you have control of that, you'll become so much more efficient, so much faster. You'll have way clearer thoughts. You have way clearer strategies. You have way clear, not goals. I don't like goals. I like targets. Okay, people say, oh, I have a goal. A goal is something that can be hit or can be not hit. You know, a target is something that you have to hit. Okay, you have to hit. There's a level to how you hit it. You know, there's a big circle, and the middle is where you want to go. Okay, and how efficient and how fast and how aware you are and how focused you are is how spot on you're gonna hit the middle. You know, how much if you're a darts player, you know, you're throwing darts. You could throw darts 1,000 times and you could never hit the middle because you're not focused. But you can focus one time only and hit it properly, and you'll hit the middle. But at the same time, you're not gonna learn darts instantly. You gotta go through a couple of hard throws. You know, a couple of hard moments. You know. where I have, if you're a dart competitor or whatever, you know, you could go through a couple of bad competitions for you then to end up in a good one, you know, for you to then adapt and train yourself to be that person. And this is the same thing in real life: focus and efficiency and speed, and all of these like reactions, just know, control your emotions, you know, like I have one target only, you know, I have one target only. I am going, like, this is something that maybe we might argue about, but being selfish is so important. Being selfish is very important.
No, I agree with this.
You agree with it? Okay.
I spend
you.
I've learned now to spend way too much time by yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, then the way you interact with people, the way you handle situations, it's serving yourself is a pathway to serving others. And I do believe in that, because there are times when I'm going to be burnt out, I'm not giving time to myself, then a friend asks me for help, or I'm just having conversations, and I bring this burnt out version of myself that doesn't represent who I truly am. I'm just being consumed by emotions and my environment, and I'm giving them that, and I don't want to give them that. So better, I'll take time to myself. And I want to talk about this because I love to spend time with myself, and I do it a lot more now, because that's where everything good in my life that's around me comes. But being selfish is important.
It's
sure.
very who the fuck is gonna do it for you? You know, who's gonna do it for you? No one's gonna do it for you. Like there's no one in the world that wants it more than you want it for yourself. There's people, maybe people are want all good for you until you achieve more than them, until you cross them. You know, and this is just the truth of it. Even whoever it is, no one wants it more than you want it for yourself. And everyone's it's all sunshine, rainbows, and love, until you start becoming a threat to, you know, people around you, and then people start finding things, the little wrong things, and then they start talking about it and all. Like, just shut up, head down, keep going. You know, like this is you want it, you know. And but at the same time, you know, I believe in what is success and happiness. I believe success and happiness comes from satisfaction. Okay, and if you're not satisfied, you're not happy. Okay. If you're not happy, you're not satisfied. Same thing goes around. And you could be, it differs from a person to person. No? The level of satisfaction for people might be anything. It could be anything. I'm gonna give an example of money. It's because money is a good scale. You know, it's a good scale to say, oh, this guy makes 10,000, this guy makes 1 million. You know, it's just a good scale. You know, it's like saying, oh, this stand on the. I'm gonna stand on the scale right now. I'm gonna be overweight. You know, but I'm not overweight.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not overweight. But the scale just says, but it's just, you know, it's just a scale. So I'm not objectifying or anything. So the you could say, and okay, this guy makes 10,000 dirhams a month, and you can talk all bad about him and all, but he could be way happier than you are, because he's satisfied. Now he's satisfied. 10,000 dirhams a month is all he needs.
That's interesting. Satisfaction is a measure of success.
It is, exactly, and it is a direct affection to your happiness, you know. And now here's where this thing changes for me. Like, I'm not gonna be satisfied. My satisfaction is way high. Like, for me to be satisfied, I need to be. Why I need to be making more is because there are things I want to do for the people around me.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not satisfied until I can get my family a house, and I can get I'm getting my mother a driver that's gonna take her every day to the gym, where she has the best coach in Dubai, that's gonna take her back home, and whatever. You know, my father and my sister and all of these people are around me. You know, like my partner in the future and whatever. All these things. These are people I want to do things for. You know, but we're not gonna lie to each other. It's money. It's money that does all of that. It's money that does all of that.
Yeah, you need it.
Don't sit there and lie. This is something in Think and Grow Rich. They say, and all of these, a lot of people sit there and start speaking about, oh, money is bad and money is bad and money is bad. How the fuck are you gonna make money if you're saying money is bad?
And okay,
how?
It is bad in some ways. But here's the thing. Objects itself are neutral. Okay, so let's say this cup is neutral. If I take it and I hit someone with it, okay, I use it for a negative thing. Does that make the cup bad? No. It makes the intention and the action that I've had with the cup, that's what makes it bad. Same thing with money. Money is important, but I think purpose comes first. For me, purpose always comes first. So why am I doing this podcast? It's a good podcast, it's a bad podcast. What makes it a good or bad podcast? For me, I feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose. I feel like it comes with purpose. This conversation, for me, it feels purposeful. I didn't have you here because, oh, you're a business owner. No, because I find what you're saying valuable to me. I feel like the purpose of having conversations with you is because it elevates me. It elevates my mindset. So everything comes with purpose. Same thing with money. If you use money to buy drugs, you use it for weapons, okay, that's bad. Unless it's for katanas, then that's not bad. But if you use it for, like, you know, these things, the money itself is neutral. But it's the purpose and intention that you use with it, that's what makes it a good or bad thing, I think.
Something that a lot of people don't like is being in a hard place. And this is where a family member of mine actually helped me choose didn't give me a choice but go the hard way. Okay, so here's my story I had. As I was saying, okay, I liked business, I liked all of this, and I study engineering. I study civil engineering. It's almost a full-time job to study civil engineering. It's very difficult on its own. And I had my plans of leaving my university and going to an easier one, you know, so I could just get a degree in any other way and, you know, keep going with my businesses. I want to pursue this career also. But then my brother Walid, I'm the luckiest guy for this brother. He told me, he's like, no, you're not leaving university. There's no way you're leaving AUD. You know, AUD, I study in AUD. I was planning to go to another university. I'm not going to say what the other university name is because I'll be accusing them of being an easy university. Or whatever. So I'm not going to say that. So I study in American University in Dubai. And I was planning to move to another university. Let's call it X. And X was a lot easier. So it was a lot easier. It was going to help me have so much more time for her. And then my brother told me, he said, listen, the moment you make this decision, every single time you're gonna be in a tough spot or in a hard place, and you feel like you're so compressed, you're gonna take the easier way out, and this is gonna transfer. And it might be university, you know, and you know what? Maybe leaving to X university might be a better decision for you, but it's gonna kill your mindset. You know, it's gonna teach you. Staying in this university is gonna teach you to take the hard decision and at the same time keep going with it and adapting, you know, like, and it trains you for it. It gets you ready for taking hard decisions. And this helped me so much. This has been such an important thing to me. Why? Because it was so easy to be in hard places after that. I swear to God. You know, like when I was, I had events where in Abu Dhabi where I had to drive back from 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. I have to be in university. At 6 a.m. I'm driving back all the way from Abu Dhabi after packing up. And by the way, every single booth we've done, every single booth I've had, every single important or big booth I've had, it was only me and Saeed that built it. And only me and Saeed that put the swords up. And only me and Saeed, it's a full-on building procedure. You know, it's only me and Saeed that do it. We would finish all of that, pack up the booth, bring everything back to Dubai, put them in the warehouse. And you're talking about like 6, 7 a.m. And I had a friend of mine called Ali Musa that once did this with us. And he's like, how the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like 6, 7 a.m. I'm done. 9 a.m. I need to be somewhere.
Yeah, you have to do it by any means possible.
You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do it.
And I think that's the thing with, like, a lot of people want to be successful, but I don't think that a lot of people know how uncomfortable and stressful it is.
Here's a good one. Here's a very good one. Let me prepare very well for this because this is a quote that is that will also, you know, sum up this conversation. It's for you to become a millionaire, you must learn who you need to become that millionaire. So before you even make millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, you need to have $1 million brain. You need to become a millionaire inside. There are a lot of why do a lot of millionaires fail? Because they're not actually true millionaires inside. You get me? You can't be a millionaire and have the same personality you had when you weren't.
Of course,
it is impossible. It is impossible. If anyone that says I agree, I'm gonna tell him, okay, make $1 million and then come talk to me. You know. You have to. There's a certain person you need to become. Okay, there's a certain person you need to become, and this is all I'm doing now. And I believe that I'm very close to becoming that person. Why? Because I find myself sitting. I can find myself sitting at the table with 6 millionaires. I have no problem having a running back conversation with them. I could have conversations with them. I've had 4 hours, 5 hours sittings with multi-millionaires.
This is the thing.
And I could sit and talk with them.
This is what you're saying. It's the outside world reflects your inside world.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the mindset of someone who has that, why would
Yeah.
you have that? It's like you could spend all this time like manifesting or thinking like, I want to have a million, I want to have a business, but then at the same time every day you complain, I don't have time. It's like, make time.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
if you want to be able to get all these things you have, you need to open room in your life for them, because life is only going to get more
Yeah.
stressful if you want all these things.
How are you gonna learn to work 20 hours a day and only sleep for 4 hours? I'm not saying I've worked exactly 20 hours a day, but I've
Yeah.
had days where I've worked 18 hours, 17 hours.
And when you make
Easy.
big goals, you're going to have to have big challenges.
I could comfortably say that. Like I've had days where I've worked 17, 18 hours and I've slept maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. But you get to a point where you no longer need 8 hours, and everyone tells me like, bro, you need to be sleeping more. You need to be sleeping more. I keep telling them, no, I don't.
Yeah, because
No,
you
I
have
don't.
something inside of you. You're like,
It's done. I got used to it. 4
You have
hours
the
of sleep
fire.
is my normal. 4 hours of sleep is my normal. It is my normal.
Yeah.
It's a good day, and I don't have a lot of work if I sleep 6.5 hours. You know,
Wow.
and it's and you know. This is the person you need to become. You need to become the person that can sleep 4 hours and wake up and work another 10 hours and then not even take a nap, not even take a nap, just have his first meal and then go on and move on to the next thing, And this is and you see, the hardest part of me doing everything I'm doing now is that I didn't have to switch personalities between everything I'm doing. I had to switch roles, Like I have to be a brother and a son at home, and then I need to go to uni and become a student, and then I need to go to
This is interesting.
CataKatana and become a CEO, and then I need to go to Luber and have a meeting, and I need to have meetings with the developers as the potential as the founder of the idea, and then I'm gonna go to crypto events, and I'm gonna be a dealer, and then I'm a broker, and then I'm gonna go to have a meeting for real estate. I'm gonna be a real estate agent at the same time. Like all of these roles I have to switch, and you don't have time to sit there and go like, okay, now it's time for me to to rest and
This is a big thing, because people
Like,
take
nah,
that
bro.
time. They're like, I need self-care time.
No,
And
bro.
I've been like that.
honestly,
I've been like that.
honestly, and this comes from this mindset of mine, is that I don't believe in 24 hours of happiness, and I don't believe in, like this is what I say by happiness comes from satisfaction. Okay, so to give you an example, okay, whatever job you do, okay, you work 10 hours, okay, and you finished your work, you come back home, you're satisfied, okay, you did your 10 hours of work, whatever it is, okay, 9 to 5 or not, doesn't matter. You finish everything you have, you come back home, you sit down, you feel satisfied, man. You did what you have to do for the day, okay? You did what you have to do for the day. And you find this person way happier because he's satisfied, okay? Way happier because he's satisfied, and he gives the satisfaction to himself. He gives the satisfaction to himself. If you finish this 10-hour job and you come back home, if you have this mindset of you want to become that person you want to become, you will never feel satisfied after coming back after these 10 hours.
So you create the level of satisfaction you need in order for you to feel happy.
Exactly. And where does this now? How is this level of satisfaction set? Is how it has so much aspects. Okay, and one of them is a person might go like, okay, for me to be satisfied, I need to go out every weekend, and every weekend I need to spend this much, and every month I need to be making this much. Okay, and then whatever, anything more is good. I can make an average person, like, come on, you anyone can live with 10,000. Anyone can live, like, there's so many people that there's so many different level of satisfaction, and that just tells you that the people want it more than others.
Yeah.
Like this is such a clear proof that the people want it more than others. People are willing to go further than others. All right, and to be honest with you, when I look around, I see when I go to university and I have a role of a student, and I just came back from a role of being a CEO and having a big meeting and closing a big deal. I come back to uni and I sit down and I'm looking around and I'm like, everyone is satisfied? Really? Like, you're satisfied with just being in uni?
This is so interesting. I wanna give this this part of what you've said some attention. You said that my personality hasn't changed, but my roles have. And that's really important, because your personality of who you are, it stays, but the roles that you play have to change. And you said that,
Sorry, keep going.
And you said that in order for you to be this person, you need to think, okay, I want to be this person. What does it take to be this person? Like, let's say I want to be a podcaster. Okay, what does it take? You have to plan the whole thing out where it's like, okay, I need to look at the news at least a couple times a week to understand what's happening. So I know what guests to have.
Yeah.
I need to do a certain level of research. I need to study this. I need to do that. So you need to find out, in order for you to be this person you want, you can't just think of it and it happens.
Yeah.
You need to see, okay, for me to become this person, what do I need? And then do those things, build that mindset. So has it always been, I want you to like tell me about to become that, how did you do it?
Like to become that person that goes into uni and looks around and goes like, why are you all satisfied?
Or like you decided that this is the person I want to be, and then you decided, okay, this is how I'm going to do it.
I mean, I could. Number one is I love competition. Okay, I love being the best. Okay, and these days, having like becoming the best means that you have to become, not you have to, but like I said, it's a good scale, millionaire and all that stuff. And on top of that, I always like to be the wisest. I like to be wise. I like to know. I like to think. I love thinking. You know, this is why I love working smart. You know, because I really like thinking. I like sitting down and thinking. You know, and it's just, why do I have to? Why am I gonna sit there, and after I'm 23, 24, go to do what exactly everyone is doing, all right, and expect more? Why am I expecting more? You know. And to be honest with you, it started off at the gym. This is why I tell everyone, just go to the gym, go to the gym, go
Yeah.
to the gym. You know, I went to the gym, I was fat. They told me I can't get abs. Got abs. They told me I can't be a powerlifter. Won the competition. They told me I can't be a strongman. Won Middle East. You know. They told me whatever, anything it is. You know. I just go again. I keep doing it. I keep doing it. I keep doing it. Keep proving people wrong. Keep proving people wrong. And then once you prove them wrong one time, you understand. Okay, you can go like, okay, wait, so I have more potential. And then I stretch the band a bit more. More potential. Stretch the band a bit more. More potential. Stretch the band a bit more. More potential. And then you realize, no, I can eat everyone. You know, like everyone. It's going back to the point. It's a race. You know, it's a race. I'm not losing. But I'm not taking second also.
Mm.
You know, I'm not taking second. I want first.
Mm.
You know, I want first with everything. You know, I want to know everything. If I'm sitting on a table with every single person I knew, you know, this is a good thing to think about. You know, I'm thinking about, this is coming out of my head right now. Imagine right now you're sitting in the biggest table you can ever think about, every single person you knew. Okay? And imagine, for example, a question pops up about podcasts. Okay? Do you expect you'll be the topmost person to know about it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Then another thing they ask about business, do you expect yourself to be best about it?
No.
Okay, when it comes to gym, when it comes to things, I want to know everything. I want to be the best at everything. When I'm sitting there at the table with every single person I knew, whether I was good with him or I wasn't good with him. You know, I'd rather the person be there than I wasn't good with him, because I like to prove people wrong.
Mm.
So if I'm sitting there and a question pops out about business, I want to be the one to have the answer, you know? Quickest, also. It's not just about having the answer, it's about having the answer quickest. When a question pops up about real estate, I want to be there. And when a question pops up about engineering, I want to be the top guy. You know, it's everyone. I also got a lot of shit from people in my university for going like, oh, you can't, you know, like you can't. And they keep asking me like, how's this going, and how's this doing, and how's this doing, and they're just waiting to see, oh wait, maybe it worked with him, you know, like
Yeah.
maybe, wait, maybe, you know, just maybe. And you know, university, you know, I'm pursuing engineering, but I'm not pursuing engineering in the best. I'm not getting 90s and 100s in my grades, you know, but I'm pursuing engineering. I'm coming out, and you know what's the crazy part is that you could take someone in engineering that has a GPA of 4, and someone has a GPA of 2.5, and you might find a lot more in the person that's got 2.5.
2.5.
Because to get a 4 in engineering, you have to memorize the book.
Yeah.
To get a 4.0 GPA in engineering, you have to memorize every single way you have to memorize the system rather than understand it. You get me?
There's a big difference
Very big
between
difference. Very big difference.
memorization and actually critical
To
thinking,
tell
and
you,
that's the art.
yeah, exactly.
That's the art thing
true.
you were talking
That's
about.
true. Exactly, that's true. That's so true. A bank came to AUD once, or maybe I'm not sure if it's a bank or whatever, and they were like getting internships. You know, people to come internships, and they wanted people engineering GPA less than 3. They didn't ask for more.
No
I swear to
way.
God, they asked for less. than 3, not more than 3.
Wow.
They said, I went to them. They said, what's your GPA? I said, it's very low. I swear, I don't forget this encounter. Okay, I was standing there. It was actually a Dubai police internship, like something with the Dubai police, whatever. And they said, what's your GPA? I said, like it's very low and stuff, but like, and I try to do my best and whatever and stuff. And he's like, no, like, what's your GPA? I said 2.1. 2.1 was my GPA at the time. And he went like, oh no, it's amazing. Like, okay, like, what do you do? Like, that's like, okay, no problem, 2.1. Now, my GPA is not 2.1 now because like I didn't, but like it was like my second semester in uni, and I was like, why is he asking me for less GPA?
When you have to be in Abu Dhabi at 6 and be at uni by 9, that's the GPA you can afford.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But then, going back to the question, like, why did I want to be that person? Is I told you I want to be if every single person in I knew was in the same table as me, I want to have every question fastest for every answer for every question asked as fast as possible, before everybody. And I don't like it when I don't, and this is why I do everything. I want to learn everything. I want to know every business idea, every type of way to make money. I want to try my best to do that. And it turns into just like the gym. For me, it used to be I was an addict to the gym. I wanted to be the best at the gym until everyone started coming to me for questions. And then right now, same thing. I want to be the best in business. And everyone used to go like, no, engineering is the way for you. I know. But then now the questions are being asked.
How did you do this?
How did you do this? And how did you do that? And then comes the new things. Oh, he got lucky with a good idea. Oh, he got lucky with a good
that's
idea.
The worst.
Luck can be assessed. Luck can be assessed. I might go. I could have went to that crypto event, closed a big deal, made me a millionaire. Okay, literally. That crypto event, I would have. Let's say, in another scenario, I go to that crypto event, and I closed a big deal, and I became a millionaire. Every person around me would go like, "Oh, you got lucky with this one deal." What do you mean I got lucky? I put myself in that place.
Yeah.
I put myself in that event. I spoke to that person. I built my character to be able to speak to that person, to convince him it's a good reason. It's a good move by you to get this deal through me. You get me?
Nothing is all just luck. For every situation, there has to be like a journey that you don't see.
It can be assessed.
Yeah.
It can be assessed. You can give yourself more chance than luck. You get me? You can give yourself more chance.
Yeah.
In every single thing in the world, you can buy yourself more luck in any way possible. You get me? In any way possible. And all the people any person that ever tells you, if any person ever tells you, I got lucky, just imagine if that person was in that position where in that time when he said that you got lucky. There's no way. Like, for example, right now I'm seeing this deal. This couple, let's say I make $1 million through this one deal in this crypto event. If that person that called me lucky gets in the middle, and I can bet on it, and I will guarantee you,
they wouldn't do it.
There's no way they would be the middleman. There's no way that buyer or that seller is willing to go through that person.
Yeah.
There's no way. Okay, because selling is a skill that you learn with experience and knowledge that you can acquire from somewhere else. But it's there's no luck factor. There's no luck factor. Luck is someone that went to a raffle and
Yeah.
But
that's just luck.
But at the same time, he bought that luck, didn't he?
Yeah.
There's someone that did not go.
Yeah.
You didn't buy your luck.
There's always I guess this is where God comes into play. Because for me, I like to say I'm religious. That you can only do so much. Whole conversation on its own. But like you do everything you can, and then you're like, okay, now I've done everything I can. A little bit, leave it up to God.
Yeah. I mean, Anna, to be honest with you, thank God for giving me the patience. And thank God for everything that I thank God for everything that I have around me.
Thank your grandfather.
And I thank my grandfather.
He showed you that, right?
Every single time.
I want to create a quick blueprint from everything you've said for success, creating a business.
The way I went, or
because like we spoke about so many things. I just want to put it in order. So you have an idea, have that fire, have that motion. Don't say you can't do it. Find out how you can do it.
Yeah.
Then when you find out how you can do it, actually put in steps into doing it and create targets on how to do it. And I have a story for this. There was this guy who went into a mountain and he met a monk, and this monk was hitting a target, right? He hits an arrow straight into a target every time. So this guy's like, oh, I want to learn how to do this. He goes to the monk and he's like, bro, please teach me how to do this. Will you teach me? And he's like, yeah, I'll teach you. Okay. So there's this guy who's a professional archer and a monk, and there's this guy who doesn't know how to do it, and he's learning. So The guy puts the target and he starts hitting the target. He's not hitting it, and he keeps getting frustrated. He tells the monk, "I'm not hitting it," and he's like, What's your target? What's your aim? What are you doing?" And he's like, "I want to hit the bullseye. I want to hit the bullseye." And he's like, "No, that's not your target. Try again." He tries again. He hits it. He's like, "What's your target?" And he's like, "I want to hit the bullseye. The red dot. That's my target." And then he does it again. He gets so frustrated because the guy keeps asking him, "What's your target?" And he's thinking, "This red dot. That's the target." He's like, "Bro, that's not your target. The target is to put yourself in a state of mind, to be focused, and then hit, and then the bull's eye, it'll come, but that's not your target. The target is to put yourself in your mind, in that mindset." And I like that idea of targets, because goals are just this abstract thing, but targets are like, okay, how
When
it's
you
more
call it, if you realize any goal that you see before, like anything you set as a goal, the moment you set it as a target, you call it a target, not a goal. You find yourself more aggressive towards it. You get
how
me?
you're more
You
like
find yourself more. If
practical.
I say my goal is to get a six-pack in a month, or my target is to get a six-pack in a month, the moment you call it a target, bro, you're already on the treadmill. You're already thinking of getting a meal plan, and you're already thinking of all that. You get me? Because it's a target, okay? A target must be hit. A target is failed if it's not hit. A goal, people might go like, "Oh yeah, set that goal," and then whatever comes with it is achieved also.
And target is more specific, right? It's that red dot is more specific.
You have to be sharp.
Okay, I love that. And I wanna give a small quote that just came to me while you were speaking. It's that any goal that you have that's impractical, create steps that are practical to reach that impractical goal. And I think that's something that you've talked about.
I want to hear it one more time.
So if you have a goal that's impractical, people don't think you can do it, find practical steps in order to find practical targets in order to hit that impractical goal. And that's something you've talked about as well through what you were saying.
You see, I mean, the people find it hard to take the practical steps because of fear. Okay. And this is what I said before, and no. And by the way, can I tell you something? It's not a marathon. It's a race. Okay. The moment you call it a marathon, you give yourself so much more time. Everyone goes like, "Oh, this is not a race. It's a marathon." No. It's a race. It's not a marathon. You want to win. You want to be fast. The moment you convince yourself that, "Oh, it's a marathon," you suddenly find yourself jogging instead of sprinting. No, I want to be able to sprint as fast as I can. Okay. I want to be able to sprint for an hour. And then maybe the first time I sprint an hour, I will be able to, I want to have to stop only 30 minutes. And the next time I sprint for an hour, I want to have to only stop 20 minutes. The next time I sprint for an hour, I want to have to only stop 10 minutes. And this is where progression comes. And is the way you adapt yourself. So the people that are taking the right steps, the right steps to starting their own thing, their biggest problem is fear. Their biggest problem is this, because they're in a marathon, and in every marathon runner, they find this wall in front of them. And you can ask every marathon runner. All of them go like, "Yeah," and once you cross that wall, you're good. You cross that wall, you're good. It's called a brick wall. And what is it? Like, let's say you run halfway through the marathon, and then suddenly every single marathon runner suddenly get this brick wall into them. They suddenly hit this brick wall where it's like, "Shit, I can't run anymore." And a lot of them fail there. A lot of them cross. And it's fear that helps you. It's overcoming the fear and overcoming the pain, and just like you've set yourself and you've adapted yourself and you've trained yourself to be in that position to be able to get that fear and then overcome it and use that fear to your advantage and then cross that. And this is the same thing with choosing the right things to do in business and in investing and whatever. In investing, there's always that fear of the first investment. You cross the first investment, you find it easier to go to the second, and then you find it easier to go to the third, and then you find yourself a man with a lot of investments right and left and incomes right and left and all that. And this is where it really makes the biggest difference. So fear is a big factor that can be used in a good way or a bad way. It could be a good thing or a bad thing to you, depending on the position you put yourself in. So depending if you put yourself in a marathon or a race. You get me? If you put yourself in a marathon, you're taking your time, bro. You're taking your time. You just want to finish. Get me? This is what all university students are in. They're in a marathon.
Yeah.
None of them are in a race.
Yeah.
Because they all know, okay, I'm finishing in 4 or 5 years. I'm taking my time and whatever. But no, while everyone's, busy in university and taking their time in the marathon and all, I opened 2 businesses outside, and I'm trying to do much more. You know,
Yeah.
because I'm in a race. I'm not here to finish with everyone. I'm not here to. I'm here to win. You know, I'm here to be number one. I'm not here to be 2 or 3.
And
I want to
how,
be
and you know how, because you've created the steps.
It's and you know, and to tell you something, like I could be sitting here and say, like, at the same time I have to be very humble about where I am. You know, I have to be very humble about where I am. Like, I've reached this point, but I'm nowhere near as I may be abnormal to other 22-year-olds, but I'm nowhere near where I want to be. You know, it's not the bank account that speaks that, by the way. It's my knowledge and what I want to know. There's so much I want to learn. There's so much, and then the thing is, I know what I want to learn. Like, I target what I want. I told you now, systems. You know, I want to be the best at systems. I want to create every good system I can. I want to be. I want every video on YouTube on systems to be absorbed by my brain. You know,
Yeah.
and this is what this race does to you. You know, this is what this race does to you. It creates this addiction and this absolute, like, aggression towards it. You know, you have to be aggressive with it. Why are you slow? Why are you patient? Why are you soft with it? Why do you sit there and want to watch the video, watch through the whole video at 1x? You know, put the video on 2x, get a pen and paper, finish the video fast and move on to the next video. I finished 2 videos while you only finished 1 that you weren't focused about even. You get me? You get me?
I
And
think,
this
like, literally listening to you, I'm like, I want to start a business now.
yeah.
After
you
this
see?
podcast, I'm like, let's do it.
No, but you know, it's really that, man. It's really that. It's that. Like, me speaking about it now, I'm already hyped. I'm
Yeah.
already thinking about it.
Same.
You know, like, I have a meeting at 5. I'm already thinking of it. Like, I can't wait to have that meeting,
Yeah.
because in that meeting I'm gonna be speaking about a couple of things that I want to speak. A very, very, very important thing to speak about. And now I'm already going like, I'm already thinking of ways, you know, just because now I spoke about a race, just because I remembered, you know, just because I remembered, and okay, I'm in a race, not a marathon.
One thing I wanted to mention as well, like we talked about for that blueprint of making the business have, after, if you guys go back to the point where I was talking about targets, one thing I've realized is that there is going to be difficulty. I think people have this belief that it's going to be comfortable, and when it's not, they're like, why is it not comfortable? Of course it's going to be hard. And I wanted to ask you, like, this reminds me of this thing that I was thinking of. What do you think makes a good superhero? And look at any good superhero movie. Like, what do you think makes a good superhero?
Okay. What makes a good superhero is that a superhero tends to get into positions where he's put into very hard decisions all the time.
Okay.
Every single time he has a decision, he has to think and know, is there what's the risk of whatever damage, and what's the risk of the civilians, and what's the risk of myself, and what's the risk on all of that. You get me? And there's so much things he needs to think about at the same time. I have my children. Give me a superhero. Give me a superhero so I can give you a proper example. Anyone.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man needs to think his aunt is at home, the uncle that died, and he has to think the civilians that he's there. He has to think he's young also. You get me? He has a life he wants to live, but he hasn't lived. He's still young. He's like 20 years old. But
I just want to say, even in this question, in this room, you're like, I need to know everything about a superhero. I need to know more. You did it just then. Instantly, you're like, how can I know the most, and how can I answer?
And this is what I trained myself to be. This is what I trained myself.
Because you said it just now, and now you're literally doing it.
Yeah.
You're like, how can I know the most out of everyone in the room about superheroes? And you just start naming everything.
He has so much things he needs to think about. You get me? He has so much things. He has his life. He has his whatever, MJ, his girlfriend, whatever it's called, and then he has his friend Ned, I think his name, whatever his name. He has his goals into being an Avenger. At the same time, there's someone with a pistol that could actually shoot him and kill him. That's only robbing a car, nothing compared to what his actual goal is. At the same time, he puts himself in a risk to be there. You get me?
Yeah.
And it's why what makes a good. I believe what makes a good superhero is that he takes everything he has and all his goals and dreams and everything and puts them aside, and also he takes action quickly. Taking action quickly is such a good skill. You know, taking a decision at the spot is such an important skill. Because you're always gonna be in uncomfortable positions where someone's gonna tell you, "I want a decision now." You get me? You're gonna need to make a decision now. Okay? If you think you're gonna sit there and you're gonna think, "Oh, should I take this course or should I take this course?" and "Oh, I'm gonna take my time," and all that stuff, you need to learn how to make decisions fast. You need to learn. And no, there is no. Even if I have a week, I'm making my decision now. You get me? I learned to make the decision now. I learned and I put myself in positions where I can make the decisions fast and I can directly assess. I can instantly assess situations.
Here's the perspective that I was saying, and I never like to. I hate saying something to someone, having an answer, and then imposing the answer.
Mm.
What you said is completely right, and because everything is about perspective, right?
Mm.
So what I'm thinking is, what makes a really good superhero or a superhero movie is the size of his enemy. And if you see Avengers
Mhm.
and you're like, wow, these are really good superheroes, but Thanos was very easy to beat. Their enemy is very easy to beat. You're gonna think, oh, in the first 10 minutes of the movie, they beat the villain. It was so easy for them. You don't think he's an amazing superhero because the challenge that they have is easy. It's when the challenges are so hard. It's when the enemy is so difficult to beat, and they almost give up, but they just beat that. You see how strong and powerful a superhero is by how strong the challenges they face, the enemy they face are. And I think that after you create targets, after you create these things, practical steps for impractical goals, you'll realize that the bigger your goal, the harder the problems you're going to have to face.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth of it. And I think after you have those targets, I think what you're talking about, the planning and all of this, it's like, yes, if you have a really big goal, there are going to be difficulties, but you can train yourself by reading, by doing all these things you're talking about. You can train yourself for you to be prepared for that. And that's what you talked about in the beginning of the podcast, where you said, I train myself, I prepare myself for these things.
Something I want to speak about is actually what's outside of the business and what things that I really want to outside this business and outside this race and outside this making money and all that thing. There's a lot that happens outside, you know. And I feel it's very important to have a closed personality to only the people that you love and love you back. You get me? I have an extremely small circle, extremely small circle, and but it's not my only circle. You get me? It's not my only circle. I have that circle for, you know, the very close friends, the madam, all of that on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, and I am a totally different person. I am a totally different person. The people in that circle right now watching this is the first time they see me being this person.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
They won't. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's the first time. They don't know that there's this person in me. You get me? It's the first time I ever reveal to the people that had it, because I don't show it.
I'll be happy if I'm just somewhere outside of that
Yeah,
circle.
I want to
For sure.
No, I mean, look, man. You create your circles. So I have this circle with the people that I love, and at the same time I have this really big circle on the left side. And who is the circle? It's my network. It's the people I have connections with. It's people I need to keep good connection with. It's my employees. You get me? It's very important to be the right person to your employees. This is something you have to really learn. You need to learn how to become a boss. You get me? You need to learn. Yeah.
Do you have to learn how to become a leader or a boss? Because they're different.
They're different. And I think it depends on the situation. I'll tell you why. Because a leader gives orders out of advice, okay, out of an advice kind of like a way, and out of experience. And I would say like a leader basically gives when a leader sits there and gives an order to his students, all right. Actually, this is very simple. A leader has students, a boss has employees.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. You get me? This is as simple as that. You don't cheat.
Wow, that's an amazing quote,
you don't cheat.
man.
You don't. Thank you, man. You don't boss around to your students. You don't boss around your students. You don't. And you don't also go sit there and you can be a leader to employees, but but at the same time, your business is your business. You get me? If I walk around and I'm walking around and I'm seeing my employee in the booth opening his phone, I'm gonna tell him, put the phone down right now. But a leader would go like, you shouldn't be using your phone, because you're here to learn about, for example, sales, and you need to learn selling and all that. But there's no time to be a leader to every single time. You get me?
Yeah.
Two scenarios. I'm walking around. I had a scenario with one of my employees that we unfortunately had to get fired, and it was simply because this wasn't the situation, but one of the situations he had was I had a very important event, and I had two booths, and I'm up on the booth 12 hours. I don't move from the booth. The only time I move from the booth is when I want to get water or eat. And I walk past the booth and he's just sitting there using his phone. I'm like, get the phone down right now and put the phone down and stand. I don't want to see your phone around. And strictly that. There's no room for if he explains himself. No, don't explain yourself. Don't explain yourself. I saw what I saw. I came here, saw your phone. Get your phone down and go stand in the booth, and that's it. A leader would not speak to this guy at all. And okay, so here's actually the best way to say this. I was a boss in this 20-30 seconds. That same night, I switched the role to become a leader to this guy, and I told him I went to his room. We had a hotel room for the team, and I went to his room and I told him, I went to his room and I told him, I was like, Herrera, his name was Herrera. I said, Herrera, I don't want to see you on your phone. Okay, I'm here. I want what's best for everybody. We are a team, and when one of the members of the team tend to slack or whatever, you're pulling back everyone. On top of that, I'm here also to teach you. I'm not here to only. You're not here to only make money. I told you this. I tell this to all my employees. And by the way, did you know that all my employees have to go to the gym 6 times a week? This is part of the job.
Really?
They have to go to the gym 6 times a week.
Wow.
All the employees I had. Right now I have 2 in CataKatana. And this is just CataKatana, and they have to go to the gym.
Wow.
They have to.
I might just have to quit my well-paying, happy job to come to CataKatana.
But yeah, they have to go to the gym.
that.
And this teaches a lot. I'm a leader sometimes, and I'm a boss sometimes. You get me? But I want to be a leader more.
So I have a question. You're now in a position where you've worked so hard, and you're seeing this beautiful view, you have this mindset, and you're building upon it, and you're seeing a lot of the things you've put hard work come into fruition. But in order for anyone to see a beautiful view of what's there is a mountain they have to climb, right? And for me, the mountain I've had to climb, and I still am climbing, to be completely honest, is the mountain of fear, the mountain of desire, and the mountain of distraction. These are 3 things that have affected me, and I'm climbing now in order for me to see the beautiful view. So in this process of you creating the business and having the mindset you have now, what was the mountain you had to climb?
For me, I feel like I have overcome a lot of the tough parts of the mountain, But there's a part that I'm weak in. All right, and it's actually the personal parts, where it's time with the family. You get me? I tend to bring a lot of stress home. I tend to end up, finding myself maybe sometimes. How I told you, it's very important in business to be selfish. It's very important to be aggressive. It's very important to think about, your benefits and your losses. You get me? And I tend to take that outside. This is my weak point. When it comes to the personal stuff, I just sometimes the role is not switched fast enough. You get me? Sometimes I go back home as still the CEO, or I go back home as still the entrepreneur. I don't go back home as the brother or the son, because I live only with my mother and my sister. You get me? So me being the only male at the house is a very crucial thing. It's a very crucial thing, and this is something I'm trying to work on. This is the part where, I can go like, all right, here, I'm not the first yet.
Yeah.
I'm not the first yet. I'm not the best son. I'm not the best brother yet. And this is something I'm trying to achieve.
It's interesting
this is a very big mountain of mine.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's interesting that you have the mountains that you climb, and then at some point you realize that you are the mountain itself.
Very true, very true.
Yeah.
And since we've left Syria because of the war, we have never. I haven't lived with my father. It's been 10, 11 years. I haven't gotten to live with my father. It always had to be distance. He went to Somalia first time. He went to 2 years to Somalia.
Wow.
Went to Qatar for I don't know what, and then now he's based in Saudi now. And you see, my father has affected me so much when he's so far away. When he's affected me so much, because when I see someone that went from alhamdulillah, back in Syria, like he did. I told you, he's a hard worker. He did what he needed to do. He got his shit done. He achieved what he wanted to achieve, and then had to restart again when he left. At 50, 50 years old, you've done everything you had to do. You've done your biggest part, and now you gotta do it again. You have to do it again when you're less, after you've done it the first time. You could say, okay, it's easier to do it the second time, but it's been like 25 years you're working on something, and then boom, you have to restart, and you have 4 kids, and all 4 of them are in uni or school. You have a lot of responsibilities to yourself. This is why when I say being a man, I can't compare myself, and I can't say I'm a man. How am I gonna call myself a man when there is a taxi driver getting paid 2,000 and sending 1,500 to his family? How am I? How am me and him under the same role? How is he a man and I am a man?
Yeah.
You get me? How am I gonna call myself a man if he is? Me and him he is way stronger than me. The guy that suffers, a man is a man. A man becomes a man after suffering, after hardship, after hard times. And this is what structures a man. This is the most. And see, this is the most important thing I would like to speak about. This is the most important thing I want to speak about is being a man. Okay. This is why we don't see much men around these days. It's because people don't like going through the hard things anymore. They are like going past the easiest thing. Why? Because it's easier to choose the easier part now. Back then it wasn't as easy. You had no. What do you mean you're 14 and you're not leaving the house to go get food or whatever, or like you had so much more responsibilities back then. Now the responsibilities are less and the distractions are higher. So it's easier to not be a man, to not be a proper man, and I feel like I'm disrespecting a lot of the people, or whatever.
No, but it's
to
true.
be honest, it's just the harsh truth of it. I haven't called myself a man yet,
Yeah.
and that's because I still haven't went through hard enough. I didn't go through it hard enough.
But there's a gift in the suffering.
Yes, exactly. A man is a man after suffering, after taking care of his family, after hardship, after being put in the most stressful situations.
Owning
ever.
up to your weaknesses.
Exactly.
And then actually making the effort to go.
For me, for example,
change them into strengths.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's being a man is all. It's really not about the strongest or the most physical person. It's really about the person. It's really about your experiences, and you get to choose experiences. Why are you just throwing yourself in any road? Why are people just throwing themselves in random roads they're taking, and they don't even know where the final thing goes, and they're just going with it. They're chill, no stress. No, we're chilling, bro. 4 years of uni and then we finish and we see what happens. How are you gonna leave a man? How are you gonna leave university a man? How are you ready to take on life? How are you ready to get kicked out of your first job? How are you ready to apply for a job? Okay, how are you ready to go up to a company and speak in the interview and have this presence in the interview when you haven't even chose to go through one hard part? Okay, you get past that interview, your first problem in work, you're collapsing, you're done for. You're gonna have to ask for help, and so on, so forth. You see yourself, khalas, you're there. You're in the rat race.
There's a lot of things that education does not teach you.
It doesn't teach you, of course, 100%. But you know what? Going back to the point, engineering has helped me a lot. Because engineering taught me how to think of something as a student, as an engineer. Okay? And this is one of my professors. He said this. He said, guys, there's 2 ways to solving this problem. He said, there's the way where you can memorize the formulas and apply them, which is the guy getting 4.0 GPA. And you can also think about it as an engineer, and you can take a look at it, and you'll be able to solve it directly with your eyes. And this is the guy that probably gets less GPA because he writes less on the paper and whatever. And this made me think, actually, and it made me think about, so outside of work, I can think about things in 2 or 3 different ways. Okay, let me see what the ways are. And it opens curiosity, and curiosity opens to challenges and opportunities, and then once tackled and actually targets are achieved.
Again, the difference between learning art and studying art and doing things artistically.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to the example of the mountain. When people climb a mountain, they use a walker to give them support. They use water or these energy gels or caffeine to give them strength and support. They use certain type of shoes to ground them. So in this mountain that you've climbed, what gave you strength? What gave you support? And what grounded you?
So when you're saying what, you mean who? Or do you mean what?
What or
Actually.
who?
Okay, so my answer is myself. And what is it? It's my mindset. Honestly, and this is honestly my strong point, is that I can stand my own ground. You get me? I'm not gonna say I haven't gotten support. I'm thankful for the people I have around me. I'm thankful for the strength God has given me. You get me? I wouldn't have been the person I am without the people around me and without the strength that God has given me. But at the same time, I train myself to, have my own stick.
It's
I train
bulletproof
myself.
mindset.
I train myself to go up there alone. And all of this is what? All of this is the fear. All of this is controlling your mind, and all this. This is what really grounds me. This is what really keeps me in place, and this is what really takes me up there, up the mountain. Okay, it's not. I don't have. If you don't teach yourself if you can't teach yourself to climb up that mountain alone with absolutely no help, with only your mindset, imagine having Said by your side. Imagine having a person like Said by your side, or unstoppable. Imagine having a well and good supported wife that supports you through everything and all that. Then you're actually really unstoppable. And then like build yourself to be the person you are alone. Like imagine now you go to the gym, all right, and you're training. You've been training for 3, 4, 5 years alone, and you got all the knowledge. You understood your body completely and stuff. And then after 5 years, you get a coach. Oof.
Yeah.
Then you see major differences.
Okay, that's an
me?
amazing way to end this part of it, because be the best version of yourself, get that mindset right, and then everything else that comes,
It's an extra.
An
It's a
extra
bonus.
that
It's
just
an,
puts
it's
you
an extra. It's an enhancement. It's
a
just
good
an enhancement.
friend, a loving wife,
So-
like a girlfriend, all
Exactly.
that. Okay, so
Segment.
that was an amazing part. Let's get to the segment of the podcast. So there's a segment I have on my podcast called Late Night Thoughts or Intrusive Thoughts by my podcast manager, Yasmin. And what we do essentially is that we have very random questions that she comes up with, and the guest and I answer. So we'll take one each, and then I'll get to the journaling
Alright.
part of it. So I'll
That's
take
fine.
this one.
Okay.
Okay, this is an interesting one. Do you want to go first?
No,
Should I?
You go first. I don't know what mine is.
What do you usually think about when you're on the toilet?
Oh. Exactly. Only the boys really know. Okay, so I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, cause
Yeah.
okay, look, man. Okay, I might seem all that serious guy and all, but I have a side of me that still enjoys entertainment and still
Of
enjoys
course.
it.
Yeah.
So I have
You're a
this-
human.
I have this
Yeah.
game called Clash Royale. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
You play
man.
the game
It's,
as well.
yeah, man. It's
Okay.
It's you see, and I swear to God, this is exactly how I thought about it. Okay, this is not me just talking shit. Okay, this is exactly how I thought about it. Right? If I'm playing Clash, if I want to play, okay, I want to play. Okay, I want to play 10-15 minutes a day. Okay, of Clash Royale. I want to go through 5 games of Clash Royale a day. Okay, when do I do it, ya akhi? Find a way. Find a way to do it, okay? If I'm sitting in the toilet anyways for a specific amount of minutes and I can get through 5 games or 3
Yeah.
games of Clash Royale, I'm gonna do it there. So
Okay.
I'm not wasting time. You get me? It's and this is what I do, man. I'll be
Okay.
honest with you. I'm
So
just-
if you
I
ever
climb-
if you ever are tired of working, you feel like you're gonna burn out, just go take a shit. If you ever feel like I'm stressed, I'm tired, I have family depending on me, you really don't go to therapy. Although my shirt says let's all go to therapy. Don't go to therapy. Just increase the number of shits you take a day. That's
you
it.
know what? Yeah, man. If it works, it works.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually if you think about it, it's efficiency. Okay,
Yeah.
it's efficiency if you think about it. Instead of wasting your time and sitting in the bed or when you're sitting in the desk when you're supposed to be working or studying and you get distracted by playing your 5 games of daily Clash
Yeah.
Royale. Okay, you can do it while taking a shit, and you will be spending the exact same time, and you'll be doing 2 things at once.
I love that.
You know what?
Even your shits are purposeful.
You know what? Yeah, man, it works.
Okay, fair.
It works.
What do I
You.
think about on the toilet? Usually I usually watch motivational videos. Before I go to the gym, after I've had my coffee or before I go to work or something, I'm just watching motivational videos. Robert Greene is a great
Yeah.
person to listen to while you're in the bathroom. Just to prepare me for the day, to get that mindset ready, to remind me of what I'm about to
Yeah,
do once I leave the toilet.
I mean, it works. If it works, it works.
Yeah.
If it works, it works. You choose what you want to do.
Yeah. What's your question?
Let's see. If you could the fuck? Oh, what the
What?
the
What
fuck
is
am I
it?
looking at? If you could squirt one liquid, She's not- if you could squirt one liquid out of your fingers, what would it be? Not water.
Out of your fingers.
Yeah.
Wow. All of
One
that took
liquid?
about business, and then now
Now I'm squirting liquids
squirting
out
liquids
of my...
out of fingers.
Uh,
Other than water. Wow,
oh.
that's tough, man.
I mean, what are you? You know what? It's easy. This is the easiest thing in the world. This is the easiest question in the world.
Mm.
Karak. Just have
Karak.
unlimited karak
Oh,
for the
that's
boys.
a good idea.
Have unlimited karak for the
That's
boys.
such a good idea.
See, that's unlimited karak for the boys.
Damn.
Just imagine. I
Um,
think karak is the right answer for me, and I won't lie to you.
mine would be. I'm trying to think what would benefit the world the most, other than Karak, because that's such a good one.
What's gonna benefit the world more than karak? See what I mean? No. If I had to actually think about this, the very
Karak's a good one, bro.
I mean, you see,
I would
you
say
see
stick
what
with
I
that.
mean? You see what I mean?
Okay, there's a coffee.
There's coffee.
I've been using this these medicinal mushrooms. Whenever I say mushrooms, I have to be careful how I word it. I do not do drugs, but medicinal mushrooms. There's one called cordyceps,
I
and
saw it. Did you try it?
yeah.
You really tried it?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I have a pill that has 8 different mushrooms in it: tremella, cordyceps, chaga, reishi, lion's
Isn't it
mane.
the one?
all of
Yeah,
them.
lion's mane and all that stuff. It's like a box with like
It's
jobs,
amazing. So tinctures is one way of doing it,
no? Okay.
and then there's also pill, and then there's also powder form. And then actually eating
how
it.
is it?
It's amazing.
You really?
It's amazing. I've been taking lion's mane for 1 year now, and the amount of clarity and focus and the way it impacts your brain and the way you handle things. If you've created a mindset without it, imagine the mindset with it. So there's a coffee that has cordyceps, the thing that gives you energy, in it.
Oh,
It has it in the coffee. And so I've been looking at this coffee. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to buy it because I have so much of the pill, so I'm not going to buy that. But that, if I could have that coffee and just put it everywhere in my work environment to everyone, it's like, here, enjoy all this energy, brain clarity.
I'm forming the best team around.
Yeah,
me.
forming the best team around me. So if you have a business, that would be a good one to give to your
Well, you
employees.
never know. Anna, these after the workouts, lion's mane. Why not?
Yeah, there's
Why
some
not?
good for
Why
Okay,
not?
next part of the podcast is a segment called it's a segment where I essentially get my journal. So I journal every day. I've been doing it. I have like 10 of these journals. Gone.
I've been getting told by my girlfriend many times to
Do it.
journal.
Yana is onto something.
Yeah, man. I'm
Yana
telling
is
you.
onto
She
something.
keeps telling me. She keeps
Aya
telling me.
journals as
Aya
well.
journals a lot, yeah.
So yeah, I've been doing it for a while. I have a whole routine to it, but I had this one journal entry that I put a couple days ago, and it said, I'm gonna name drop one of my friends. He's gonna be so happy. I shouldn't even do it, but so I wrote, so I've spoken to Ethan about this recently, and it's been on my mind a lot. And it's the concept of focus and discipline we talked about in the podcast. What I've found is that in this journey, if I want to truly get into place I want to, and if I actually want to achieve everything to the level I want to achieve it, the level at which I achieve everything I want to achieve is directly correlational to the level at which I'm able to focus and have discipline. So I created like this graph, and on this side of the graph, it's success. On this side of the graph, it's the quantity and quality of discipline and focus. And the quantity and quality of your discipline to focus, as it increase, it's direct correlation with how much success you've achieved. That's what I've realized. So I put it in my journal one morning when I was just...
I mean, I'm looking at something that... Can I take a better look at the graph? Can I take
Yeah,
a-
go for it. I wrote that right before our call when I was on Kite Beach.
Damn, man.
You need it. And
This-
then
I'm
these are
very
all my
impressed with-
distractions.
I'm very impressed with all of this.
The 3 or 4 distractions that I have, which actually... If we had more time, bro, I would have loved to have gotten into this.
We're
But
doing another episode. That I can tell you for guaranteed.
we have
That I
to,
can tell you
man.
is guaranteed.
We
That
have
I can
to.
tell you is guaranteed. For
But
sure.
yeah, I want to thank you, Tarek'S, so much
Thank
for
you, man,
being
for this.
for being here, bro.
Yeah, man. Like it's what I really want to thank you for this opportunity. Like,
Yeah,
this
bro.
is really something that I really wanted to do for a very long time. And I'll be honest with you. I would have, like, even after speaking about all the experiences and what I've done and stuff, there's still that bit of me that went like, you could have been a better version to to come to this podcast. And and I want to speak about just quickly on that, is that you are never this is what I mean by satisfaction. This is what I mean by that. I would have I was always like, my first podcast, I want to be a millionaire. For first podcast, I want to be that guy already. I want to just come out directly and be that guy already. And it's targets. This is target, and this is how harsh I am on myself. This is the real hard world that I live in. This is the world where I put myself under so much stress on purpose to adapt myself for the future. And all of these things will pay off in like 3-4 years. And like I said, like I'm here speaking about what I have achieved and what I have learned and all of this, and inspiring and motivating and stuff. But there's still that little bit in me that goes like, fucking failure. You could have been a better person for this podcast. You could have taught more. You could have been more to teach more.
I think I mean, everything happens the way, I feel like everything happens the way it's meant to, bro. I think that
yeah, there is also that little bit belief that takes you, with moves you. It moves you from the situation that you're in.
Thank you so much,
Thank
bro,
you
for
so
being
much,
here. Where can people find CataKatana?
CataKatana, CataKatana on Instagram. Luber will come out in the future. You will know when it comes out in the future. My Instagram is Tarek'S1. I will I don't know if it's private right now. I don't know if I will make it public. I don't know. I'll find out.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. But for all that I do, you can just
You find them.
Tarek'S1. Yeah, Tarek'S1 Instagram. DM me. I always have something to sell. I always have something to buy. I always have business to do. I always have ideas to apply. I always have marketing to help. I always have anything to do. And it's why I am where I am, is because I'm always beneficial for people. I am always important for people. There's always new ideas that people want me to be part of, and this is why I am who I am. And yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
coming
much,
on,
man.
bro. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, share, follow both of us, and yeah, thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.